We the Fans is the #1 sponsor in battle rap. My name is Frank White, and I probably contributed to some of your favorite battles. I mean, in the last 4 years, I donated $222,000 to battle rap for the culture. Check out We the Fans Global on Instagram for the full catalog of battles I sponsor. And follow We the Fans Global on YouTube to watch full battle breakdowns from a sponsor's perspective and a recommendation for what battles should be booked next. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe and keep stepping into your greatness. We the Fans is for the culture.
We here. Salute, Black. Salute, J Smo.
Shake my hand. Good brother. Can they hear me when I talk when your intro played?
Sometimes, like, it's been funny intros.
I was saying some stuff.
It's been some intros where I've heard people talk. It mutes it sometimes and it doesn't. Nonetheless, I appreciate y'all pulling up. How's everybody doing today?
Doing all right, man.
I'm living good.
Okay. So this is not going to be a battle rap blog. So if you're watching this expecting battle rap talk, you could go ahead and unclick this link. We're going to be discussing Marvel movies and the MCU in general. So to start out, I'm going to explain the Marvel Cinematic Universe is divided into phases, with the first 3 phases known as the Infinity Saga. And then you've got that one focused on foundational heroes like Iron Man, Captain America, and the Avengers, while phases 4, 5, 6 from the Multiverse Saga explore cosmic threats and multiverse concepts, introducing new heroes and expanding the universe with Disney Plus shows and films. And Black is gone.
I'll be right back, y'all.
So this is what we're going to be discussing. We are currently in phase 6. That is the phase we are in the Marvel universe. Schmo, start us off. Talk to me about your thoughts on the Fantastic Four First Steps, which is the first conversation we're going to have.
Nah, I thought it was a very good movie. I think, there's been so many iterations of people trying to do Fantastic Four. It's kind of the one that never, for how popular they are, nobody's ever landed a plane. They're usually ass, to be honest with you. So as someone like, I always look at things like objectively and just as a fan, like as a Marvel fan, I'd say I'm fairly like easy to get a good reaction from, especially for something like that. I'm just waiting for a good movie. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Favorite villain of all time, Galactus is the lead, and Rich Hudson, fantastic job in this portrayal as well. So was it like a 10 out of 10, one of the best? No, but I think it's kind of same way I think Thunderbolts and some other movies we'll talk about we're talking all 8 out of 10 solid films and getting back to a form of consistency for the MCU. So
okay, Black, where you at with the Fantastic Four First Steps?
I thought it was a good introduction situation. I'm mad we didn't get a little bit more of Dr. Doom, because as you know, he's one of the main villains of that arc or that series. But I get it though, we saving that for Doomsday. But I thought it was a good film.
Okay, what's your rating? Oh, okay.
8 out of 10, I think. 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. Okay. I took the family to go see the movie. I agree, 8 out of 10 is accurate. They were focused on Earth 828, not Earth 616, which is the Earth that we're familiar with in the other films. My favorite portrayals were Sue Storm, and I think Ben Grimm was great. My issues were with Reed Richards. I felt like Pedro Pascal did okay as Reed Richards. My personal preference was actually a very brief cameo of John Krasinski as Reed Richards in the Multiverse of Madness. I preferred his portrayal. I don't know. How do y'all feel about the Reed
He only
Richards
played
portrayal?
for like 10 seconds, of course.
And it was better than what Pedro did. I don't know why. I love Pedro Pascal as an actor, but this Reed Richards was not it.
Where do you think he fell short?
People wanted Krasinski. So
wait, what'd you say, Shmo?
I said for so long people wanted Krasinski. I was almost like the fan casting, which people get their expectations up, and I thought it was fun to see. I think Pedro did a little bit of a better job, but Black asked a good question, man. What do you think Pedro could have done?
Where did he fall short?
I don't know. There's like a certain. Okay, so I can't. It's like little nuances, like the accent, right? With Pedro, like you can hear the accent. I don't know what iteration of Reed Richards is a Latino man, but you can hear the accent.
Here we go.
I'm sorry. You can hear the accent.
That's what it is.
Krasinski had more of a. I don't know. I can't explain it, but it just felt more like Reed Richards from the comics when I was watching Krasinski.
So the smartest man got just checked by Wanda, and you rock with that. Smart skin with strategies
Basically,
and then turn into noodles. So how was that?
Basically, I also didn't like the Johnny Storm portrayal. I'm gonna keep it honest. Chris Evans did a better job in the very bad.
I'm not mad at that right there.
Yeah,
you didn't think Joseph Quinn? I think they actually did a better job of showing that he's a hothead like they did with the Chris Evans version. But I think people forget they're all astronauts, like they're fucking astronauts. So like they're dummies amongst the group, and I think they do a good job of making everybody like they show you the family dynamic and like it's not just one smart guy and then three people running around him. But I thought they did pretty good. And real quick to speak to the Thing portrayal, Ben Grimm,
loved
I
it.
think they could have used more. And
Oh,
they eventually cut out maybe 10, 15 minutes worth of footage they talked about. And a few of those scenes look to be scenes with the Thing. And I think the actor, I can't pronounce his name. I know he's in The Bear. There's a lot of stuff right now. But I think he did have a good portrayal. But I think screen time wise was like 10, 15 minutes. And he's like also the fun, you know, the clobbering time, one of the groups. So that's one of the flaws I think the film had. We could have used more of that, to be honest.
Did you like his beard?
Budget situation?
Oh, maybe.
What'd you say?
So do you think it was a budget situation? Like it costs more to have him on screen time, you know, with his the graphics.
Because I know they started with prosthetics and they ended up doing CGI. You know, I would agree, but they burn money over there. Money almost doesn't exist.
I'll give you that.
Like over there. Ironically, though, for such a big IP with Fantastic Four, it was a Marvel disappointment, which is still $600 million.
Which is still extremely successful.
You know,
exactly.
But
that's Marvel though. That's Marvel. Everything's basically successful over here. So,
but every movie
used to
2 hours and 40 minutes. I get it. It would be
over here is wild. Okay,
it's okay.
Were y'all fans of the facial hair that they put on the Thing?
It wasn't bad to me. I liked it. You know what I'm saying it was. I don't know. I just never thought of that. I know that it's in the comics, but I never thought of him like growing a beard. Yeah, being that way. So I thought it was dope.
Okay,
it added to the look. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, you know what I think they nailed? They did a great job of is Galactus. I thought they did Galactus fantastic. Great portrayal. The scale of Galactus, the movement, his intentionality, the development of his whole character. I thought it was very well executed, and the special effects. It just was perfect, in my opinion. How do y'all feel about Galactus?
Yeah, I mean, quite literally my favorite character of all time. I'm more of a villains guy than a heroes guy most of the time, anyways. But there's something about a character of scale. Usually you get big threats, it's a monster, it's like a non-dialogue thing, but to have someone of scale also be an intelligent presence, I think makes good for a movie villain. Like there's so many ways you can go with it. And his intro, when he comes out of the shadows, he's talking about taking their kid, that into the black hole sequence, which is like spectacular cinematography, you know what I'm saying, across the board. To me, that's the peak of the movie. You know, not that it doesn't end well or it doesn't start well either, but when they go in to actually go meet him and they go through all the cosmic parts, like that's what they want from this phase. And I think they missed a lot is the actual going in the black holes and all this crazy shit. So that to me, like I said, Rich Eisen voice perfect for it, perfect portrayal. They might have beaten him a little too easy, but I don't think it's the last time we see him. So, but that's also kind of the thing across comics. Galactus is really cool looking. He's kind of a bit. He'd be getting whooped on, even though is what it is. So,
go ahead, Black.
My issue with that, obviously, I thought he was amazing throughout. You know what I'm saying, the scope of him in terms of like how we're viewing him, the scale of him. But the issue I have is like, I want everybody to be like a Thanos level situation where we see that person multiple times before we see that person, as opposed to he pops up in the movie and then he loses. I know he's not done, but he loses in the movie. We got to see a portrayal of Thanos like 3 times before we saw him like actually, you know, saying destiny has arrived. Stuff like that. I feel like they did the same thing with Gore. Gore is supposed to be some crazy situation for Thor, and it's like, yo, he pops up and he dies. Like, nah, let's take our time with the situation. But I get it, you know, production wise, and you know, things got to pass a certain way and the amount of speed or whatever it is. So it's like, but I would rather see him be like menacing, like this full on destruction, not just he pops up, she sends him back. I didn't like that.
Okay. How did y'all feel about the female iteration of the Silver Surfer? Which, for those who don't know, there is a female a Silver Surfer version in the comics. I felt like some of the reactions were kind of strange. Almost some people arguing that this was just invented out of nowhere. Or no, this is actually the case in the comics. I thought she did a phenomenal job. My boo Ruth from Ozarks, I thought she did a fantastic job as a Silver Surfer. How did y'all feel about that?
I thought she did good. It was there's every time she was on camera, it was a positive. I ain't seen no negative. The only problem you could have with her is you wanted her to be a man. That's it.
Yeah.
There's no part of any scenario where I feel like she was again a negative on camera. Like, oh, I don't like her hair. I don't like her hair. I think she's basically perfect for the role.
You know, it's kind of twofold for me because I'm one of those people that did not like the fact they casted a female actor for the Silver Surfer, and I'm all for you know, different variations. When they did Mighty Thor with Natalie Portman, like there's a bunch of times I think it completely makes sense. While she does the female Silver Surfer does it Shri, you know, I forget the second half of the pronunciation. She's appeared like twice. So she has appeared, but it's like really like it's not like this common thing. It is still an out there concept. And I love Lauren Rod, like the regular, you know, bald-headed Silver Surfer. Like that's an iconic character. But as you said, the actor she plays Ruth in Ozark also was the main lead in Weapons. Amazing in that movie. She's so good that it's just good. So even though I wasn't a fan of it, and I still think in hindsight I would have still not been a fan of it, her portrayal was like it was one of the actual highlights of the film across all the cast. So it ended up the film, no question.
Agreed. I love the action sequences too. Excellent job with the action sequences with Silver Surfer. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to a TV show that I want to talk about, and I'm gonna let y'all do the talking because as much research as I've done, I still do not understand what is going on. I am a huge fan of Ben Kingsley. I think he's an incredible actor. I hated him as the actor Mandarin in I think that was Captain Iron Man 3, I think it was. I hated it. I absolutely hated it. And now we have Wonder Man, where Wonder Man is an actor but also a superhero. Gentlemen, the floor is yours. Please help me understand what's going on because I'm baffled.
Well, I'm not a super comic head. I know what you're talking about, but it's like it hasn't dropped yet, Frank. And everything's a mystery now. It's coming out. I think you think this is like we're Marvel agents and we're gonna like give advertising. Like,
does anyone know?
No, download the URL TV.tv Disney app where you can see Wonder Man. January 27th is coming out at 8 p.m. Eastern time. You know what I'm saying? You know, where Yahya Abdul Abin, whatever his name is.
Oh wow! Wait a minute.
Agents and then doing a promo rollout is not.
That's what he want. That's what he want.
So we can all agree that we don't know what the hell is going on with Wonder Man.
At DC, now he's here at the Marvel Universe. He switched contracts. He got his exclusivity deal with the Disney TV.TV network. And stay tuned, man. Wonder Man.
So nobody knows. Okay, go ahead.
A couple of times in passing, it's definitely not someone more of an obscure character that I haven't read up on as much. I will say, it feels like they're kind of sending it out to die.
The rollout, nothing makes sense.
You want a bad promotion? Where have I heard that before? You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't think that they've done the best job rolling it out, even having a world-class actor. But I also know the vibe of it. Some of the interviews they've done with the director tied to it, Ben Kingsley himself. And also the guy playing the lead, actually playing Wonder Man. All of them have talked about it being more lighthearted in tone. I mean, since he is going to be an actor / superhero, and considering that they have a character that's been just comedic relief in the 2 films he's been in, I'm expecting more of a lighthearted vibe. I'm not overly looking forward to it, but I watch anything Marvel, so it's just
agreed. They did do a great job with Ironheart, and I've just been catching up on Hawkeye, which is also pretty good too. I loved Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I loved WandaVision. So I'm willing to give the TV shows a shot. I think.
Why you mention everything but Loki?
So
it's no way there's no way you're gonna
Loki.
There's no way you're gonna sit there and say I love this and then say Loki is bad. I dare you to do that.
Okay, here's what I'm going to say. I love Loki as a character. That's one of my favorite characters. I think he's a highlight in all the Thor movies and the Avenger movies as well. Loki, the TV show, you have to be paying very close attention as to how it develops. I think it's a slow start that leads to a good payoff. It's a slow start that leads to a good payoff. There's also a little bit of a dragged out storyline with the timeline and the constant back and forth on the
Low
time.
key is the best one out of all of them.
It was a little bit dragged out. I
Low
can't
key is the
agree.
best
I
one out of
can't
all of
agree.
them.
I think WandaVision is the best one out
Low
of all
key
of
is
them.
the best
but-
one out of all of them.
You know,
Neither
it's
here
so
nor
funny
there.
because I'd say they're both. I'd say WandaVision and Loki got the most critical acclaim. Like, not
Mhm.
people have their opinions, and Marvel's so polarizing. It's got to be like the extremes. Like, I think it's the best thing ever. I think it's dog shit and like a waste of cinema. But both of them get a lot of love. I didn't like WandaVision as much.
What?
As much
I
as
thought it was genius.
I also
I thought
believe
Loki
that-
was genius.
I think Loki is the best show that they produced, but I think
Oh
what makes
my
both of them
God.
special is there's always so much talk and worry, I think, with more casual audiences. Do I have to watch all these to watch the movie? Like, if I
Yeah.
miss these two shows I don't want to watch, well, and those are two shows that you had to watch you couldn't understand Multiverse of Madness fully if you didn't watch WandaVision. And then
I
I'm
agree.
sure Doomsday 100%, but Loki is probably the most important maybe one of the most important projects they've dropped in
I
the last
agree.
5 to 7 years.
It's probably the most
So-
successful too, right?
Yeah, for the TV shows, 100%. So
Yeah.
I think the fact both of them play into the bigger story. I know people
Mhm.
don't love to have to watch TV to watch a movie, but
Mhm.
they had to kind of put some more juice in those projects because, like, if you don't land the plane on that, you're almost like badly promoting, like, oh, I didn't like this, and this is what leads to this. Like, it's going to
Yeah.
make you like the movie as much. They're both kind of objectively good, but yeah, WandaVision for me was a little bit of a drag. I hated the Quicksilver Evan Peters tease because I really thought they were bringing the Fox people over. I'm a nostalgia guy. I'm a fan of that. And then they did it for a dick joke, which is awful, terrible writing.
I also would say,
Yeah,
speaking of films, shows leading to films, I definitely agree with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. You had to see that to fully understand Brave New World, and I'm gonna venture to say that I wish Brave New World was a TV show. I hate to say that like that. As a
You
film,
flip 'em. It's
Yeah.
actually listening to Falcon and Winter Soldier is a better movie than the Brave New World.
yeah, if
crazy.
Falcon and Winter Soldier was a movie and Brave New World was a TV show, I think it would have gone a bit better because I thoroughly enjoyed Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Brave New World unfortunately fell short in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean, I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I think especially with Isaiah and how they tackled that, since you have a team show, you have so much more time to flesh out more complex themes and like conflicts you're touching on. And that's one of the best examples. I know MCU in general is more progressive. It feels like every movie, even too much for some people at times. But I think that was a great example of it done at its absolute best. And then you get to the movie, and I think the problem is the show is good, and you have all these characters. You're doing Red Hulk, which is like a fan favorite type of thing to bring into it. And I think that you had all the hype and the buildup, and when the movie's just okay. I don't think it's bad, but I just think it's okay. It's like a good food movie. Like I'll eat popcorn while I watch it. Like that's why I go to the movies for it. So, but I agree with a little bit of the letdown of it, and flipping it is an interesting idea. And the leader was terrible. That's really my biggest issue with the film is they brought such a good Hulk villain. So
I think you said this earlier, like they put it out there to die. I don't think they intentionally put it out there to die, but it's like when you watch, it's Captain America. That's the title of the movie, right? Let's get it out the way. Captain America 1 was good. Captain America 2 was one of the best. And Captain America 3 was Civil War. Then you got this.
Phenomenal.
This is the worst one, technically.
Yeah,
So
if you're just going by the Captain America films, it's
a perfect trilogy with Chris Evans, who is beloved, and then
they do this. It's like
although in the comics he does take the mantle of Captain America.
It's not inaccurate, and it's it's not something like we talk about female Silver Surfer, where it's like, it happened once 30 years ago, and we're gonna act like that's normal. Like Sam Wilson is the iconic, the mantle of the Falcon, and he's usually one of the next up right there with Winter Soldier to pick up the mantle. But we know that it didn't set them up for the most success.
No, it did not. I did love Red Hulk though. I may be in the minority there, but I loved the iteration of Red Hulk.
They liked him, right?
I loved it.
I think that was the best part of the movie.
I think they nailed it. In fact, that's one of the best Hulks we've seen in a long time. Hulk seems to be anyway, neither here nor there, but I love the Red Hulk.
We'll talk about that.
Another day. I don't even want to get into the Hulk thing. But
look how they massacred
They had to nerf him so everything else makes sense.
Yeah.
The Hulk was the Hulk throughout. A lot of this would have been easier. So they had the same with Thor. They had to nerf Thor. They made him fat, right?
Listen, let's just move on because that's a whole other conversation.
Go ahead, bro.
All right. So speaking of TV shows, where are we at with Daredevil Born Again?
I thought it was pretty good. I feel like it didn't capture, what we originally got from the first one.
Mhm.
But I think season 2 will be better than first season, at least at Marvel. I think it's good. I don't think it's trashing like that. I think it's good. It's getting there. It's getting there.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
Simone?
thought it was good. I think it could even borderline very good. I'm not mad if someone gives it like a little bit extra praise. I'm also like Daredevil. I'd say for the heroes I do love is in my top like 3 or 4. So I'm naturally gonna I'm just happy to be watching it. It's easier for me to get joy from it. But the opening scene with Bullseye, I wish that even though it's technically comic accurate, I want him with the whole like the actual regular black and white fit. But I think I think that they did. I thought it was good. Middle drags, and I think they wasted Muse, but that's kind of like an MCU. That's a movie thing with all these villains and characters. Everyone wants them, and I think Black said it best. Thanos set such a high bar that there's a demand for great villains that are thought provoking. Some guys got to die in a TV show season, and it is what. Even if they're good, it just is what it is. So I feel like they wasted, serial killer story, psychological thriller. They could have tapped into something new with that. But I agree that I think the cast themselves have spoken on season 2 being darker, like the Netflix show, which is what its biggest claims is. And I think it's going to be really, really good. I think they same thing with Fantastic Four. I think it's 7, 8 out of 10. They definitely left what could have been something amazing there, but that's why you have 2 seasons of television. So
I think you guys nailed it. It's definitely very, very dark. I loved Muse, the character, and I do hate that they didn't get a chance to really dive into that. I also didn't understand presenting White Tiger and then killing him so soon. That didn't make sense to me as a decision. I miss Foggy. That was very difficult to process. It's very, very difficult. But no, I love Punisher being back. I love Wilson Fisk is. I'm not sure what they're doing, but Vincent D'Onofrio is such an incredible actor. I trust whatever they're trying to do. I did prefer the first version of Wilson Fisk. There's also a lot of like political aspects to the show that I'm enjoying, and the parallels between what goes on in the show and what's going on in real life. So I'm interested to see where they go with season 2, but it's a lot darker. And of course, Matt Murdock. I think this is the best iteration of Daredevil. And I think I can't stress enough how fantastic of a job they've done with that character.
You say it's the best iteration of Daredevil. Like, what are we comparing it to?
Ben Affleck. It's all we got for now. Unless there's another one that I know of. But
the animated versions, were, if you really want to get technical, were like
but I just think they nailed it
better than the multi-million-dollar film. That's a problem. But Charlie Cox, he's like. The same way when you think of Iron Man, you think of Robert Downey, you think of Captain America, you think of Chris Evans. When I think of Daredevil, I see Charlie Cox. Like that's 100%. That's the actor that's really taken that role. So he's
fantastically done too, and he's amazing in Boardwalk Empire. If you haven't seen that show, definitely check that out too. Salute Charlie Cox, and I really would not mind. I'm hoping. So the next thing we're going to talk about is Spider-Man Brand New Day. Obviously, we don't have too much information, but I don't know why it hasn't been announced that Daredevil is involved in that, because I would love to see Daredevil in a Spider-Man movie. I think it's long overdue. I'm hype about the Punisher, of course, being in there. Without saying too much, is there anything anybody wants to talk about with Spider-Man Brand New Day? They've done a great job with these Spider-Man movies. Obviously, Tobey Maguire is the godfather of this whole thing, but I think they're doing very well with these. Vulture being my favorite villain so far in all these movies.
Amazing in that.
Yeah, I love Michael Keaton. So seeing him be able to do a whole other character is just incredible. And of course, he's my favorite Batman. But that's neither here nor there. What are y'all thoughts on Spider-Man?
I want to go back a little bit, before we move forward. One thing I do like about DC, the only time I'll give it praise in comparison to MCU or Marvel, I want to see if this is a whole world, then we're using the same pot of characters, whatever. Why can't we see a Spider-Man pop up in Daredevil? Like you said, I want to see Daredevil and Spider-Man. It's like, if he's part of the roster, right? URL. Why can't we throw Tay-Rock in one of these smaller settings? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Why can't we have Spider-Man top in the episode? Like, oh shit, episode 7,
Spider-Man in a volume.
See Spider-Man in a small room setting. Okay.
So it's like in DC, I think that happened. I think it happened recently. Shout out to James Gunn. Lex Luthor popped up in one of the shows, whatever. So I hope to see that happen. But as far as Spider-Man Brand New Day, Daredevil should be in there because Punisher's in there. I know we get a whole bunch of Punisher, but we should get a little bit of Daredevil as well, because you know what I'm saying.
Absolutely,
I would like to see that. It's saying the Daredevil, the Hulk, But this is gonna be a 9 out of 10.
Mm.
If anybody wondering, it's gonna be 9.5 out of 10. You know, it's into Doomsday, it's right before Doomsday.
Mm-hmm.
So I have nothing but positive things to say about this one.
Yeah, we're getting we are getting to the point, even though I think you said it best. I mean, Tobey Maguire's the first Spider-Man is maybe my first intro to any Marvel anything. You got to think I'm like,
wow.
3, 4. It's one of the first movies I end up watching in my life when that comes out. I do think we're into a point where Tom Holland, and if Black is correct, it ends up being another like 9 out of 10 or something like that. He's turned into like objectively the guy, man. Like he doesn't have a Spider-Man.
He's doing more though. That's the thing. He's doing more.
But he also doesn't have like a Spider-Man 3 in his catalog. Like you got to admit, Tobey bad with the last one. And actually, that was one as a kid I loved because there's so much going on. And then you grow up and like, oh, this was ass. Like I get why you're like this. But the one thing I am worried about, though, speaking of Spider-Man 3, I love that it's ground level, and I love all the characters they're incorporating. But that's kind of the thing with Spider-Man. He is the best rogues gallery. He's the best set of villains. So you've heard of like 5 villains being. There's talks about Scorpion's going to be in it. They might do Rhino. There's sounds of maybe like a Rhino suit being seen on set. And then we even gotten the main villain. Is it Sadie Sink? Because now she's in it. You know what I'm saying?
I love that she's in it.
And if she's Jean Grey, like some people theorize, I think that would be very cool because I think she's going to be the best out of that Stranger Things cast in terms of the long term. But where do we have time in all that, unless it's a 3-hour movie again, for the Hulk, Punisher, maybe Daredevil, if he's going to be in the city, Fisk is the mayor, the actual Spider-Man, the 4 villains. And I feel like when Spider-Man movies go bad, you're usually like, there was too many villains. There was too much going on. So I really hope that they can balance that. But of course, like I like everything I'm hearing. They need to bring those ingredients together in an actual film. They're very cool things separately, but we need to put an actual production on.
Yeah. Speaking of people making appearances, I really wish. So in the comics, Venom was one of my favorite characters. I really wish they could have done Venom better. I love Tom Hardy's an incredible actor, but it's not his fault.
That's not Marvel. That's Sony, by the way.
Yeah, I know, but I just wish that we could have got Spider-Man in the Venom movies, and I wish the Venom movies would have been a little bit better. Because
we don't want to cross-contaminate what we created in the MCU to what Sony messed up on. We rather start fresh. So this is why we wouldn't put our Spider-Man a part of that.
Do we get the Venom symbiote in the Spider-Man brand today? At least
we owed a favor. So you never see them together. We owed a favor. The favor was done, but again, that's not our Venom. We're never using that. We're gonna create a whole new Venom for y'all.
Okay.
I mean, I think that if there's any chance of it, it'll be hinted either somewhere dead in the middle real quick as like an Easter egg or in a post-credit type of format, because that's a story that would need its entire own. And they've never done. That's another one that for such an iconic story, the symbiote story. The one time they really tried it didn't work out with Tobey Maguire. So you do want to hopefully run it back, and the effects have come so far because Venom looked very cool in the movies. They're just like junk food movies though. Like it's not like a serious, scary type of situation like it can be. I liked him. I hope that we get it, but he signed on for what they say 3 more solo films. And we'll see after the multiverse. Maybe that's what they do to take Tom into the sunset. Is he kind of ends on like the one of the iconic stories done right, and I think that'd be a good way for him to go off because I don't blame him, man. He looks tired, and after like 12 years of the same role, I'd be tired too.
but don't we get him young so they can do it forever? Low key, like imagine we say, "Oh, he's
looking like a true executive." Go ahead.
We're trying to get him into
forever. Sounds good when you first get rich.
Yeah,
I'm forever. This is and then you get 8-10 years. And like, man, we're gonna do 10 years. 5 more times, you know what I'm saying? Like it does, it weighs on the brain a little bit. Especially
if you asked him before he became Spider-Man, say, "Yo, we like how you look, we like how you could do gymnastics, whatever, backflips. We want to give you a lifetime contract to be Spider-Man." He'd be like, "Yes, yes, yes." And now, I'll do 2 more, and then I'm done. Bro, you look 19. We want you here longer than Thor.
Oh man,
we want you here forever. We want you to be Hugh Jackman, Wolverine.
Oh my god,
we want you here in 2040, brother.
I would love to see him pass the baton to whichever young actor they're going to choose.
That's crazy. That sounds so crazy. Time is flying.
Oh, in Miles,
Miles. You know what I'm saying? Like, see a world where Miles Morales ends up, and then because now he's grown in such popularity with the Into the Spider-Verse movies that for younger generation, I'm not going to say like Peter Parker is Spider-Man, but there's really two now. Back in the day, that was like the cool side story, but now they really feel like
it's a full-on story.
They don't want to run Spider-Man right back because it can. There's fatigue for everything at some point. You know, things at least need a little 5-year, 10-year reset. I think a Miles story after his film deal is done, in my opinion, would be the way to go. But of course, they already are planned into 2050. So.
I'm not mad at that. There's talk of the Hulk returning to form in this Spider-Man movie. What are y'all thoughts? Because what I'm hearing is we're going to get a very vicious Hulk. And I'm very much looking forward to Great Hulk if that happens.
From a blogger?
I mean, hey, Streets is talking. Streets is talking.
Yo, I heard Loaded Lux and Matt Hopkins there finally.
Hey, Streets is talking. Streets is talking, Black. What y'all think about a return to form for Hulk, and what would that look like for y'all?
That's Avengers Age of Ultron. Like some trickery has to happen for that to even happen. Like how do you go from, we got this domesticated Hulk to bang smash? Like how do we get to that point? Somebody has to have tricked him or something for him to even be that way. But it's kind of, to me, what's the point of that? If it's a street level situation, right? It's not a cosmic situation. Why are we getting that Hulk now? What, against William Fisk? Why you turn so? Why now? I wouldn't want it right now. I wouldn't want it. I really wouldn't want it.
Wow.
I completely disagree with that take, but I hear you.
We need that.
Why would you want that now?
We need that. That's the bottom line.
No. Bring that Hulk for Doomsday.
No, we need him now. I need to
know where you're going with
on a street level Spider-Man movie. Street level, by the way.
I would not mind Hulk killing Spider-Man. Actually, I'm gonna be honest.
You need help.
Hello.
Listen.
Here you go.
Hey, listen, I'm just putting it out there. There's ways that can happen. People lose their minds. Everybody wakes up on Battle Earth. Neither here nor there. Go ahead, Battle World. But go ahead, J Smo.
Oh no, I think I'd love it as soon as possible. I disagree. I do see where Black's going with it though, because Doomsday is going to have all these pops, all these things that have to make it epic, unreal expectations. So to get like the Hulk that everybody really wants, not whatever this dog shit has been ever since they meshed, it became. I need negativity. This is not a character. This is not a character that should be having consistent dialogue and conversation. And I think
he should just be raging mad. Yeah.
Even when it worked for Infinity War Endgame, it just for the time it ended up working. But I think Mark Ruffalo really has done so many good things by him. The first Avengers, like most projects he's in, and him and She-Hulk, like it's not even his fault that his character. A lot of things about that show suck.
But I'm all set on She-Hulk. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, it's just we want to see. Hulk is very specifically for like kind of mindless violence, and there's almost genres within genres. Yes, it's superheroes, but you're gonna have like a Reed. You want a more intelligible story, deeper plot than plot twist. When I want to see a Hulk movie, I want to see him fuck shit up, and it's been a long time since he's really gotten the opportunity to do that. And I'm pretty sure that they will bring him back into form for this movie. It looks like whatever Sadie Sink's character is gonna be, it's something with mind control or something. If I had to presume, and I could see a world where that you could start seeing like what their pathway is with that. But I hope that if it's received well as it should be, you know what I mean? That Mark Ruffalo can get some type of project before he hangs up. I don't know. It's not hang up the cleats, whatever you want to call it.
Hang up the green.
But hangs up whether it's a movie, because it's been hard to do a Hulk movie, same way it's been hard for Fantastic Four. But even if he gets like a Hulk TV show, World War Hulk, he has so many stories of his own. I hope he gets a solo project before he's done, because it's too iconic to be like an afterthought, like it's been for almost a decade now.
Which is sick. Ed Norton might be the best iteration so far. I'm gonna be honest, and maybe Eric Bana, maybe.
I didn't like Eric Bana as the Hulk.
Well, then Ed Norton, I thought the Incredible Hulk was all right.
Ed Norton got kicked off because he was an ass, so he wasn't even great.
Surprise,
you know what I mean?
Like,
So you think if that Hulk script Ed Norton got was in the MCU, do you think he did a better job as a Hulk? I think it was time and place. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Ed Norton also wanted to write the movie himself. Like he's not an actor. So I mean, it's just like it's similar with every other sport we cover. Behind the scenes is always uglier than the product we get.
So true.
But that's one of the main reasons. And it's not a bad movie, but I don't think you put it in the MCU. It's a great movie, and that's really what the Hulk deserves at some point, is a real stand. Like that's the guy I see as the Hulk when I envision it. So he's good.
Exactly.
I thought Mark Ruffalo did good in Avengers, and I think if you put Mark
Facts.
Ruffalo in Ed Norton's role before they switched the Hulks, whatever it is, I thought Mark Ruffalo did a good job there too.
He probably would have.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay. And now we move on to the masterpiece, the event we've all been waiting for, Avengers Doomsday. Bum, 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 bum.
3 billion. 3
It's
billion.
not
3 billion?
3 billion.
3 billion.
3 billion. Guaranteed.
I think we're looking at bigger than Endgame. I think we're looking at the biggest Marvel movie of all time.
I don't know.
I don't know. Where we at with it?
You don't think
Everyone
it's
loved
3
the
billion?
MCU. When Endgame was a specific point in time, right before something gets so popular that people feel the need to hate on it, you get this perfect peak point where everyone was on the same page with. You didn't hear about this and Kevin Feige and everyone turned into writers from their fucking computers. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I hate the writing. You've written nothing in your life. How do you hate that? So, but it was at such a perfect point. It's hard for something to get that much love, and I can see Doomsday being a little bit divisive of a film for some people, but I'm still over the moon excited for it. 3 billion's ridiculous, Black.
What is everybody's favorite trailer?
There are no trailers, so everything you've seen was just hints. So it's 4 hints. There's no trailer. We have not dropped a Doomsday trailer yet. So what are you referring to? That's the facts. That's the facts from the Russo brothers. So I'm just saying, there's no trailer. There's no trailer drop yet. Those not even teasers. There's hints.
I'll be real. The best one is the X-Men one. No question. That's what's fresh.
It's the Cyclops one.
Yes, because that really
calling it the Cyclops one is so sick.
The best, but to see James Marsden, who I thought didn't get utilized with Fox well, like I thought they
talk about it
like a complete afterthought, but to see him in the real blue and yellow, like the '90s cartoon, which I'm sure, I mean, who even people that don't like Marvel, I feel like have seen the X-Men '90s cartoon. That's the nostalgia hit where I'm like, if you're going all in on the cameos and bringing back everything, you got to go all the way Marvel with it. Don't try to be modern with the suit or tech. I love that they went full classic with it. Like, it's a superhero movie. Be silly. And I think also the epic shot of him with the blasters at full force, the Sentinel foot. So to me, the X-Men one, that's one of the biggest things I'm looking forward to. And I feel like that's what people are waiting for, is after Doomsday and Secret Wars, it's X-Men time. So that's what has my attention.
Another reason I think the X-Men one's the best one, because they look fair. You gotta think Xavier, Magneto, they look scared, as if this is our time, we're done. Let's pray together. This is our last chess match. Like, we see what's happening. So it's like, how strong will Doom be? Like, they give up. Like, I feel scared with them. And then Cyclops, it's like, you lost everything. This man took everything that you love. So yeah, it's the. I think this one and the Wakanda one, in second place. I think the Thor is third. I think Captain America last place. They're saying that.
Okay. I want to read y'all a quote. Death comes for us all. That's all I know for sure. The question isn't, are you prepared to die? The question is, who would you be when you close your eyes? The way Magneto delivers those lines gave me chills. I was like, oh my God.
We talk about guys that really take a role. Ian McKellen's Magneto, and that's why
100%.
Even though him and Patrick Stewart have died in 4 different movies, and I think this Patrick Stewart. It's not just his last time playing the character. Patrick Stewart is done acting after this. He's already announced his last role in movies. So you have legendary actors who have been so bought in for 20 years. Like, I want to end my career in a superhero movie, and I think that's really cool. 20 years ago, that wouldn't have been fashionable. That would have actually been the worst thing ever, I think, considered in Hollywood. And now you get to see him just, go for it one last time. I think they're going to be they're phenomenal in every appearance they've made. So what's going to change? I hope they get a lot of screen time, though. We talk about juggling characters on screen. I don't know what they're about to do with Doomsday and all the.
I mean, they said the runtime is almost 4 hours, 3 hours.
And I'm here. I'm here for every second of it. I'm here for every second.
I don't know if it's official yet, but if they're going to go full Lord of the
Hopefully
Rings,
it is.
I'll watch the 4 hours.
I will be seated the entire time and after the credits.
It's a little ridiculous, but
I don't care.
When it comes to Marvel, I'm with all things. So
exactly.
I'll be there for, what is that, a fifth of a day or something like that.
That's so
I'll
crazy
watch
to
it
say.
twice 4 hours. And I think you probably would need that time, to properly introduce Doom, right? Because we have, outside of the Fantastic Four, we haven't got much about this guy.
Anything.
Mhm.
We know behind the scenes like what he is, but it's like the world that you kind of created for the casuals, you know, to kind of watch whatever. They don't know nothing. So what can you do for us in 2 hours? I think not much. What can you do for us in 4 hours is a good mark for you know to tell us who he is and explain why Robert Downey Jr. is playing both characters.
Mm.
You got a lot of explaining to do, Marvel. So 4 hours to me sounds good.
I also have to say, along with Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart being phenomenal actors, enough can't be said about Michael Fassbender and James McAvoy portraying them as well. I think they have done an incredible job. Nothing is more perfect than the casting of Michael Fassbender as Magneto. I think.
Magneto, yeah, he was.
Oh my God! Fantastic
I think
work.
he's the best.
Fantastic work.
No, he's not.
Fassbender's the best Magneto.
I may say that the X-Men 90, what is that, 97? I think that might be the best Magneto I've seen so far.
Yeah, and to do that with an animated show,
is insane.
I don't know if I've seen that, especially not with like a superhero film, but where it's not really just like a kid show. Like as an adult, you can watch it, and as goofy as it seems to watch an X-Men show as an adult for like storyline and emotion, they really like elect emotions with the writing.
Incredible.
And that's the cardinal call. If you actually make someone feel an emotion watching it, that is the point of all this. That's the art of movie making, in my opinion. So they really nailed that.
Yeah, but nonetheless, everyone's done a fantastic job. And which brings us to RDJ, Robert Downey Jr. as Doom. What are y'all thoughts?
It's something that at first I'm adverse to, and it could go very bad. Like I think there's a world where it doesn't end up working out, but I do think I've warmed up to the idea over time because I'm also about just phenomenal actors being cast in phenomenal spots. And it seems like the word is that this is going to be a sequel to Endgame in a sense. Like this movie is going to tie directly to the events of that. And in that case, you know, people can say, oh, they're going back to the well. They need them. Who gives a fuck? It's going to make $2 billion probably. Shut up. Like some people think too much into things just to be different. And if they do pull off long-term storytelling like that, and it doesn't feel like a year ago, they're like, oh, we're going to tie it in. If it's cohesive, they'd be once again remaking filming. Like everyone thought Endgame was the end of that. To think that there's a sequel, and if they make it feel genuine, it's another thing Marvel's done that like is like foreign to the movie world. So I'm actually really optimistic, but it's either going to be amazing or it's going to be a complete disaster. There's going to be no middle ground with this.
I want to start with the pocket watch before we get back to what Smo said. Robert Downey Jr. is supposed to be getting $80 million.
Oh my God!
You think that's right or wrong? Let me go with Frank first. You think that's right or wrong?
That man is an embodiment of Tony Stark. And
this is for Doom. This is Doomsday, though. What you saying?
But he deserves whatever dollar amount he requires to do what he needs to do. I know he understands the gravity of the situation. I know he would not have accepted the role unless he was 100% confident in what he needed to do.
He got his Oscar. He can go back to the bullshit. Maybe that's
he's got to create the separation between Doom and Tony Stark, and it has to be 100% believable. And I have a little bit of a conspiracy theory that Tony Stark was Doom all along. But go ahead.
Go ahead, Smo.
I was going to
pocket watching first.
Yeah, the other thing is, in terms of one thing that does give me a lot of hope in his portrayal is even though it's going to be vastly different, we're talking a superhero movie compared to a biopic in a sense, his work in Oppenheimer, playing like an antagonist in a sense, and especially when Doom is going to be more of a cunning, a little more deceitful. There's gonna be more base and villainous than obviously the character he played there, but he won an Oscar for a reason. He was fantastic. So if he could bring even a little bit of the energy he brought to Oppenheimer here, and then he has no problem getting over animated. I think that's what's cool about Robert Downey is he really I don't know if he method acts or how he goes about it, but he doesn't hold anything back. For better or for worse, he's gonna be that version of the character. So that's probably the one good sign I have going into this. But to even think that we're a year away, we haven't gotten a trailer version of him. How they're going to play it yet.
Keep it a mystery.
I'm excited. And then you think he's going to be in Secret Wars. I don't know if the 80 million.
He
Just,
probably will be.
I don't
If I
know.
give you, if I give you 100 million, you're gonna be in everything, bro.
Yeah,
You're gonna be in every single thing that we do.
I don't know if he signed a multi-film contract or because I've heard the 80 get thrown around, but I don't know if that's just Doomsday related, which would be kind of insane, or across his entire film deal. But either way, he's going to be paid handsomely, and he has a passion for this. He's on the Mount Rushmore of superhero movie people, so I think he'll take it more than serious.
I think as far as 80 million, there's nothing wrong with him getting 80 million, 90 million. People don't realize if that person is critical and to you making a certain amount of money, put him there. We got to think, let's say, I know this doesn't make sense in terms of putting Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, and Brave New World, right? But let's just say Brave New World, Captain America made 400 million, 500 million between that two. What if you put Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man in that movie and now it makes not 900 million or 800 million? So that how much he was making, it makes sense for him to get that because we made double based on him being there. But I don't think that's the case for Doomsday because obviously it's a lot of characters. It's the melting pot of, what's the culmination of what's happening right now. So I think he deserves that. But in terms of him playing Doomsday, I trust the Russo brothers. And one of the reasons I trust them because we've seen the Winter Soldier, right? Funny, I'm named Winter Soldier. We've seen him look away. The best he's looked recently is the Russo brothers, the ending teaser.
Mm.
The extra credit scene, that's the best he's looked. Russo brothers did that. Even how the scope of how that looks, the Russo brothers, I have full faith in the Russo brothers. They brought back the Russo brothers and Tony Stark. Part of me, RDJ for a reason. It's gonna work to me. It's gonna 100% work to me. I think there is no world where it's a disaster. There is no world. There is no alternate universe. No, it's gonna work 100%.
Wow.
100%
Okay.
Speaking
of things that are going to work, gentlemen, how do we feel about a new Black Panther returning? There's rumblings of Damson Idris portraying a variant of T'Challa. How do y'all feel about that?
I think Ben should have happened, but I get it. Chadwick Boseman is an important figure for the culture and definitely for the MCU, so they had to pay the respect. And at the point, I think they didn't know how to handle it. And the best way to handle anything is just with respect, a proper send-off. So it made sense. On top of that, Shuri, it's in the comments that she takes with the mantle of the Black Panther, so that made sense. But I would have loved for T'Challa to face Namor. I would have loved for T'Challa to be that guy in Black Panther 2, and I guess in Black Panther 3. And it might sound away, but I don't want Shuri to be the lead Black Panther in Black Panther 3,
which is Shadows of Wakanda, as it's been announced.
So I would rather y'all figure out a way get a Black Panther from a different universe, a 215 if it need be, wherever area code y'all from. Just saying, so let's bring in Dancing Idris now at least.
Okay.
Let's bring him in now. Why not? I think he's perfect for the role too. He did a great job in Snowfall in terms of him changing his voice. So he could change his voice for this too, and I like it. I would like for him to be Black Panther. I would like to
have Black Panther be crazy, show up on the battlefield calling people dickhead and whatnot. And I do think they should have recast. I think they should have did it at the time, but they had such a delicate situation because obviously Chadwick Boseman, how tragic all that went down, and the fact that I always think really honorable the way he went about it, like he handled his life on his own, on his own terms. I think that's so you want to honor that, and they made the safe decision, which is not to recast, but they should have recast. You know what I mean? Like T'Challa was such a key character. There's still so many actors that could play the role to a high level. And of course, you could still do the intros. You could still commemorate, and people still understand that the show has to go on in a sense. But I agree. Wakanda Forever is not a bad movie. A lot of elements I like about it, but there's something about and I kind of speaking to the Silver Surfer one, not that Sherry didn't do a good job, but sometimes they gender swap, and I just don't, it's not necessary. Like, I don't think we need a female version of everyone to get, like, we understand the message, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes a key character like that needs to continue one way or another. He's too key into the Secret War story specifically, and they're going to be based it off the 2015 version is what it seems like. He's even more key than to the original Secret Wars. So you need Black Panther in there. So I think your best shot is to go get whichever other actor you think could give you the best shot at T'Challa. So if they really go through with that and maybe they move into the next phase with a new actor, I wouldn't be mad at that whatsoever. And nothing against the actress that played Shuri. I'm not a believer in that the flip that they took with it. It's a little bit hard for me to wrap my mind around. So
Okay. So that was going to be my final question about this is how do y'all feel about the story arc of Shuri? I will say that I enjoyed the second Black Panther. Wakanda Forever was very good. I loved how they sent off Chadwick Boseman. I thought Shuri did a great job in her role. But I also agree that it's time to bring in a new Black Panther, and it's interesting to see M'Baku be the leader of Wakanda. How do y'all feel about Shuri's story arc? And do y'all think it's going to come to an end here?
Well, it's not gonna come to an end. I think it should be her, or it probably will be her, switching to more of a supportive role. And again, they were jammed in the situation. The situation just happened, so they had to do what they do to make it work, right?
Mhm.
And again, I think all of us saying, "Yo, they should have switched to a new T'Challa immediately," but I think they got a lot of backlash for that. Look how fast they threw him out. Look how so it's like the silent majority, whatever it is, were quiet because of this or that. But it's like if they would have did the way what we said they should have done, it'd have been a ruckus.
Yeah,
How quick they
and that's why they made a safe decision. It's not in.
Chadwick just passed. Oh man, what y'all doing? It's crazy to me. Look how fast it can move on to somebody. Like you're hearing right now, you're going to somebody. So I think they made the right decision.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as Shuri, her role was good. You gotta think she lost someone in real life in Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah.
She lost her brother. She lost her mother as well. So it was kind of a deep situation for her. But it's on camera. I thought it was good, and again, she played her role pretty good. It's not really about her. It's about the circumstance that we want the guy. We signed up in Black Panther 1 between Chadwick Boseman and Michael B. Jordan, Killmonger, and all that good stuff, and now we get her. It's not her fault. So again, she played the role good. The story arc for her was pretty good, but we want the guy though. We want the Black Panther. But she did a good job.
I wouldn't have minded Michael B. Jordan coming back as Killmonger. I'm not gonna lie. In the comics, he comes back to life. I wouldn't have minded that. But go ahead, Shmo.
Well, I was going to say something that I think helped because I think the actress that did Shuri did a good portrayal, but I think the script was great. I believe Ryan Coogler still did the second film too, right? Just like he was directed for the first one. And, I talk about before about like pulling emotions out in movies. And I think it is interesting to have, she was the little sister and so family oriented. Wakanda is a huge, like, your people, your village, and you know what I'm saying? And it has so much to do with family, connection, trauma. And that's one of the reasons people love Michael B. Jordan, the first film, is the emotions they play off. You can relate to him, and a relatable villain's usually a good one. So for her to go from someone so family-based to losing her brother, losing her mother, having to step up as like the head of really everything. Now people are looking to you for answers. That's a story people can relate to. Maybe not the same way the king of a kingdom, but how many, getting all of a sudden you have to do more for your family because somebody's passed on and you have to step up for that role. There's something beautiful about that. And I think how they wrapped up the story arc by the end of it, even with the defeat of Namor, the way that they were able to relate a little bit in that, I think that's the peak of the film. So I think the writing does it justice. I just think that she was cool. Like, I think that she was good. But like I said, if she was to get moved on from, even if they were to kill off the character in order to bring a new one in, I wouldn't be mad at it. Like, I think that she was it's like a bridge quarterback in football. Like, you'll do pretty good for this year. You're not the long-term plan though.
You're not the long-term.
That's just not what it is. So
I also want to highlight a character from Wakanda Forever, Namor. I thought that character, that villain was fantastic. Little things like the wings on the feet and how they portrayed his ability to fly, the rich history, how they rolled out the backstory of his origins. Right. I loved that, and the representation of Native Americans and all of that. I loved it. I'm hoping we see a whole lot more of them in this Doomsday. What do y'all think? Are we getting more of Namor and Talakan and all that stuff? Are we getting more of that?
If they put him in like the little I guess teaser, if you want to call it that, we're gonna see a good amount of them, at least a little bit more. I mean, if it's a 4-hour film, you probably see him 15 minutes, that's a lot.
A lot. Yeah.
You got 25 characters, see one got 15 minutes. That's a lot.
Yeah. And he's such a known anti-hero. Like, that's just kind of the role he plays, is like, adverse to the Sea World, but when there's a larger threat, he tends that's where you see the hero side of him. So I think you're just going to see him in a different light instead of being a main protagonist. You're
Yeah.
going to see him absolutely in arms, you know, bringing the Sea World up to fight the new threat.
Amazing.
So Black said it best. I don't think he'll have too much time because there's so many other important things to get to. But the actor, I can't recall the actor's name that plays him, but did a fantastic job.
Fantastic.
I'd like to see him keep playing Namor. So hopefully he's able to do it again.
All right. All right. Well, next time we see each other, we're gonna. Well, if you gentlemen are free again, I definitely look forward to some more conversations. And if you're watching this, drop in the comments what you'd like us to discuss. There's so much to touch on in the Marvel universe. And I appreciate both of you gentlemen for making time to do this with me. Thank you both so much. I know we're all so passionate about Marvel. I thought this was a great discussion, a healthy break from battle rap. Is there anything anybody wants to add before we close out? Maybe like donate to Champion. I don't know.
No.
Okay.
Donate to Champion here, by the way. Thank you if you're watching.
Okay.
DC could never do what Marvel has been doing and is doing right now. They'll never reach, well, maybe in 10 more years, whatever it is. But DC doesn't have the cojones to do what Marvel is doing. They're too impatient. You know what I'm saying? They don't have a strong focus. We're sending one of our directors over there to help them. You know what I'm saying? And James Gunn is ours. He belongs to us.
You say they would develop their own talent?
They couldn't develop their own talent. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So we let James Gunn go off our exclusivity contract, and now he's helping the DC. Now he's the main guy over there. He was just one of our directors over here, but now he's the main guy. He controls everything over there. You see the dynamic in Marvel. I'm just saying, but DC could. Frank, I'll see you in 10 years to talk about a DC like Avengers level situation. Maybe just the Avengers 1. We're at like Avengers 27 at this point with Doomsday. It's cool.
Okay.
Shout out to DC, but it's just not. It's a difference.
I want to say, as someone that is a huge fan of both, I do lean towards Marvel. I'm not an anti-DC guy. I'd say Batman's my favorite hero. Actually,
mine too.
Batman gets a pass.
Hero of all time.
Different story for another day. It's like
you
don't respect your rival team, but they're like, we got to have a plan for him, though. You know what I'm saying?
Batman is the greatest.
But with that being said, I just want to end it on I think the demise or fall off of Marvel has been greatly exaggerated. So I can't wait for the next year or two for people to keep crying and keep buying tickets, because it brings joy to my heart to see you guys cry while we enjoy it like normal people. So I can't wait.
I agree. Oh, I'd be remiss not to mention this. Blade. Apparently there's no Blade movie. We're just gonna get a Midnight Suns.
Midnight Suns. I mean, they clearly couldn't figure it out. I don't know how hard it is to
what is so hard about a Blade movie? Put him in the movie and let's go.
What did Wesley Snipes say? There's only been one Blade. There's only going to be one fucking
he
Blade.
knew something we did. He knew something we did.
Heartbreaking.
What are you talking about, Wesley? This is one of production now.
Wesley put that in the script. He's like, yo, I'm going to say this, Sean. Like, if I'm going to be in the movie, you're going to let me say this. And
all right. Well, I appreciate y'all.
I think we're fast.
Please.
It's crazy because y'all let Ryan Coogler, you know what I'm saying, make his own Blade movie low key. Y'all could have just paid that.
We're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're definitely not.
I'm just saying though.
Blade though, that's a real thing. He used a lot of the elements he was going to use for Blade. It was supposed to be a period piece. Sinners was really supposed to be Blade in another universe. So it's
really,
exactly.
The script that he pitched, it just didn't work out with that. So even some of the extras costumes in Sinners are costumes that they had designed for the Blade movie once upon a time.
No way.
So there was a world where it could have went a different way, and Sinners could have been a Marvel project, but that shows you what they've done with Blade. So
oh my God.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thanks for ruining my weekend. Appreciate that ruining my weekend. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. God bless y'all.
All right, Frank.
Have a blessed day, y'all. Champion.
I was going to pull out a knife.